This is Professor Needing, and I'm back with you with another Desmos instructional video for Math 168, and this is for doing one variable statistics. And you would have already seen this in minute 12, second 5 of the 2.2 lecture video, and they were calculating the mean of a given data set. Now, all the videos in class are done with the TI-84CE because we have a lot of students on campus who still utilize a TI-84CE, but this one is to go in an addendum to in case you're using the free Desmos application. So let's say that we're going to use these three data sets, and we're going to make basically a data set for A, for B, and for C. So we can do three different things with three different sets of numbers. And again, these can be found on the 2.2 video or section 2.2 of your Math 168 course. So if I go into Desmos, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create these lists. And notice that the lists are just simply typed, and you have to give them a variable or a name, one of the two, and I'm going to give them all lower cases, and it matters between lowercase and uppercase. And then you start the list with a bracket. So a bracket with a comma separation value will get you 5 elements in the first, 7 in the second, and 8 in the last. Now from here, I can do any command I want on these particular lists just by simply calling them up. So I'll create a new line. And the first thing I'm going to create inside here is I'm going to ask for the mean value. So first of all, if I remember that it's called mean, that's one thing. And I have to open with a set of parentheses. So for instance, mean of list A and close that is 11.2. And you can see it right here. By the way, if you want to change that to a fraction for some reason, then it's 56 out of 5. Now, if you don't remember where this is located, you can also go to the keyboard, and in the keyboard, you go to functions, and in functions, you go to stats. And in stats, you can get a total, you can get a mean, a maximum, a minimum, a medium, a quartile. I'll show you how to get the quartiles and the minimums real fast, also after I'm done with this list gathering of the mean. Now, one of the things I like to do with Desmos is I just simply control copy, and now I'll control V, and I will replace the A with a B, and I'll have the list for B. I'll do it again, and I'll replace the list, and this time I'll have the mean value of C. So I have the mean value of A, B, and C. You can also build folders and put the data inside of folders if you need to. Okay, well, what if I want more than just the mean? What if I want the one variable statistics, all the other things that go with what the TI-84 delivers? Well, that's an easy command also. And again, if you go to your command button, and you pull up your functions and you go inside of stats, there's a button which is referred down here as stats, S-T-A-T-S. Again, parentheses, and then we have to call up the list that we're looking at. And you can see that if I call up the stats of A, that I'll get the minimum, the quartile 1, the median, the quartile 3, and the maximum inclusively for stats of A. And again, I'll use my little technique of control copy, and I'll control V, and I will switch this over now to B. And enter. And again, one more time, C, and enter. Now I have all the data that I would have under one variable statistics that I would be searching for in 2.2. The only possible things that I could still be looking for, and if you look inside functions here, that I could be looking for a standard deviation, STDEV, so I could get the STDEV, and I could do that again for set A. And you should know by now, I'm going to control copy, and I'm going to get that also for set B. And I could certainly organize this a little bit different depending on how I want the layout for my certain professor or for myself. And so now I have all my standard deviations. What else is available to me? Well, some of these values down here aren't going to be that interesting. We can also get a correlation value right here when we start talking about two data sets. Now, we'll have to have an X and a Y, or an L1 and an L2, in order to get a correlation coefficient or an R value. So when you want to get an R value, you're going to need data from two sets. So maybe if I insert some data here real quickly, I'll go to plus. I'll create a data table. I'll put in, let's say, 0, 1, and we'll just keep this nice. 2, notice how it does that for me. And I'm going to do something cool like 5, 10, 15, 20. And there's other ways to fill these also. And I'm going to deviate slightly so we get just a little bit different data here. Now, if I were to graph those particular things and look at that, I hit this little button right here, and it's going to show me those data plots. And if I want to run standard deviation on, or excuse me, correlation on these two things, well, then I can do that. I can go to function. I can grab the correlation coefficient, and I can look at the correlation coefficient between these values. Okay, and the correlation coefficient will always come up between x1 and y1. And I get a correlation coefficient of 0.997. If you're looking to run an actual line of best fit, I do that in another video where I look at y equal a plus bx. So please take a look at the other videos that I've produced inside of the Desmos help section.